Hello, and welcome to the Go Mode Link to the Past Mentor Tournament 2020. We've got a Gold Sword bracket matchup for you tonight between Kaesden and Windfox470. I am SEJay. I'm joined by Shareen. How's it going, Shareen?
Howdy. Oh boy. This is hype.
Yeah, for those of you who did not see it last week, this is a rematch of the Week 6 matchup between these two, which, oh boy, that was a seed. Fire Rod in Mimic Cave was the biggest thing that I remember, but it took both of them well over 2 hours to complete that seed. Kaesden end up getting the victory there. Wind, therefore, looking for some redemption today. But this is the playoffs. This is a best of one, 7-7 open defeat Ganon. Winner of this moves on in the playoffs, and loser, unfortunately, is out. So we're in for a good one here.
Yeah, it's always rough when you have so many talented runners and someone's got to go one and done. And we are off. And I was already going to say that we were probably going to see some identical routing to start, but already being proven wrong by Kaesden and getting 10 bombs in sync. So we already got divergence here 20 seconds in.
Yeah, this is a swap from last week. Usually, Kaesden is the comfortable Uncle Route start, and Windfox likes Sanctuary. So they swapped roles here. Potentially something to do with their mentors. Kaesden has Qirn in the booth with him, and Windfox has Gammachu. We will see if either of these plays pay off. The 10 bombs in Sanctuary is a really nice find before you go into Kakariko.
Yeah, 100%. And having the 10, is nice to spend the few bombs in CAC and also have some extra, if you decide afterwards you want to do bomb escape or you want to go to South Shore. Windfox fighting 300 here uh, and picking up these small magics, so he's going to be pretty equipped to kind of take any other opening he wants. I suspect he'll head over to Kakariko and just use that money to buy bombs. I mean, he will have 10 bombs, but at least now he'll have vendor money, and yeah.
Yeah, we find the Moon Pearl in Lost Woods, and I believe we just saw a shield on Lumberjack Cave, so probably nobody rushing to go do that. Um, yeah, Moon Pearl early on, nice to see. No real direction yet, but we'll have an easy time going through Kakariko as Windfox is going to go up and. Oh, nope, just going to Lost Woods. I thought he was going to Lumberjack for a second.
This doesn't surprise me. I think Windfox is pretty flexible as a runner, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's feeling, especially with Gamma as a mentor, a little bit more gambly here today, um, taking a lot more high percent plays and kind of cutting a few corners to take down Kaesden. Maybe the last match got into his head, so we'll see how the rest of this goes. Um,
Yeah, talking to Windfox and Kaesden just throughout the week, Windfox feels like Kaesden has a slight execution advantage above him, but Windfox feels like he's more willing to take gambles and live with them, as we do see Hookshot and Blinds Hut. So early Hookshot might be signaling some interesting things, and $300 more, so money not an issue.
So that 300 is really nice for Kaesden because he's not going to have to worry about skipping out on Bottle Vendor now. That was something this could have potentially hasn't had an advantage. But both of them having money now, and both of them are going to get the other 300 that each other got. So they'll both end up with a decent amount of money. Zora will be able to be done later in the game. And with the Moon Pearl as well, Fake Flipper is also completely on the table. So we'll see how the runners feel about that as well.
Yeah, you see Hookshot Moon Pearl Glove. Um, that's a way to get around in the dark world when we do get access to that. So nothing really pointing us at Aga yet, but if we do have to do Aga this seed, that is a way that you can get up and go the long route to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, and having the glove and hookshot is also kind of a read to be like, okay, when do I go to the mountain? Am I going to find a flute or lamp? Because at some point you got to think that there's going to be a play over there, and you know, you obviously want the hammer when you go to the mountain, but like we can break logic now and just go do a bunch of stuff up there. So we'll see if that
Yeah,
comes into play soon.
for sure. Hammer or Mirror, something to get you a little bit more access is really highly desired. For those of you just tuning into the stream, this is a best of one it's pretty much a winner take all for these first couple of rounds in the playoffs in all of the brackets here. So winner of this match moves on. Loser, unfortunately, their tournament is done for this year.
Yeah, both of these runners doing very well through Swiss and making it to the gold sword bracket. This is gonna be a good one as far as like all the glitches these runners are confident with. It's gonna be a shame that someone is gonna end up losing. Both these runners have been like racing a lot with each other, and they both know each other well. So
Yeah, Kaesden's only loss coming to Floyd, who's also 5-1. Floyd's only loss coming to Shkoopel, I believe, who's 6-0. And Windfox losing to Kaesden, and I can't off the top of my head remember who the other loss was, but it was also one of the top tier runners in this tournament. So we do see a save and quit from Kaesden. We're done with Kakariko. Got a decent amount of items, nothing crazy, but it does look like he might be doing the back of escape play.
and he is.
I like this play early. You know, you're looking for anything down here, and there's a lot that this can tell you. If you can find a key, if you can find a map, it tells you, or even if it's just 3 items, it tells you what's in the front of escape a little bit, so it helps you decide if that's worth that dive.
Okay, and we got a key, and Kaesden is gonna save and quit. Not super comfortable going in there just yet. So maybe that'll come on the front of escape side of things.
Yeah, finding both key and map there tells you that there's 3 items in the front of escape and an item in Dark Cross. Probably going to loot those together. Just going to check South Shore for now. Maybe find some more safeties to do that dark room, a lamp or a sword or a little bit of extra health. Something to just help get through it.
Alright, let's see if Kaesden can get this hook shot in the dam. Get the chest and the switch in one cycle. And he gets rejected. That's a tough one, but it's always worth trying. Some nice bombs over there.
Yeah, just having some minor technical difficulties. Windfox also is doing the south route while we get that stream back up and running. Both runners entering Mini Moldorm Cave here. Let's see what we can find. There's 5 items here, which is a pretty good haul early on.
Yeah, and the hook shot being really nice that it can kill mini Moldorms, and you know that's another reason the hook shot's so good. It killing rats, killing mini Moldorms, and we have a cane of Samaria and a bottle. Bottle
Yeah.
always fun to find right after you've done Kakariko.
Yeah, a bottle. You're hoping if you can find a flute that maybe that gets looped in, because that's pretty much what you want, is to not go back to Kakariko until you're going to the Dark World or until you're going to activate flute or some other reason to go back there. Just a bottle doesn't really feel good to go and check.
Getting an Ice Rod Cave check here.
Ooh, and a nice seamless transition by our restreamer, Jere Dudecia. Got Windfox back, so we're good there. Well, we just kind of checked these. Runners are probably going to save and quit. Maybe go check Zora. Quick shout out to Laoria, who is tracking this match. And again, Jere Dudecia, who is restreaming for us. Maybe, definitely a bit of split here. Looks like Kaesden comfortable with going over to Zora with all that money. Windfox maybe heading up the mountain.
And this is what, where that money really comes into play, because, when you have a pearl and not enough money, sometimes the runners will opt to hold off. But when you have all the money, you want to fake flipper at least Zora. Maybe Hobo we'll see here as well. It looks like it.
Yeah, and for those of you who caught it, Kaesden doing a nice little bomb setup. If you use a bomb to explode or blow up and knock you towards the screen transition, it can help set you up on that pixel that you need for fake flippering. So good setup there. And, you know, with the glove, Zora is in logic. So we'll have to see where Windfox heads. Probably, I mean, probably up the mountain, I would think. Nope, going to Eastern, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, the mountain's tempting, but the two factors I would say that would want to push off right now is one, you know, hookshotting over without the hammer can stink. If you find the hammer shortly after, then Hera can be a big orphan. And two, if your mountain access is the flute, you could save a lot of time on that old man rescue. So following logic a little bit to kind of see if the mountain will come into logic sooner or later, and kind of see how the dark world fits in with that.
Oh, we
And
see
yeah.
a sword.
Yeah, a sword on Hylia Island is not what you want to see, because Hylia Island tends to be pretty deep in the logic, and if it's a sword, we don't really need it. So, you know, might be a sign of low percent.
Well, we're going to see Cane of Samaria used as the weapon here in Escape. I would say this is a bit of a riskier play by Windfox. Probably going to want to take that gamble to do Dark Cross while he's here. And again, Green Mail, 6 hearts, Dark Room, don't have a fire source, can be difficult. But again, Windfox likes to take more gambles and is confident in his ability to do some of these riskier plays.
And with the glove and the key, you know, this all is in logic. So we can very easily find something big here. And Windfox is going to have enough magic to take care of this. So it's not a bad call at all, knowing how many items are here.
Yeah, so far I think all we've found in here is $40, so nothing paying off yet. That Dark Cross Room could be big, though, because it is an item. We know that. So it'll be interesting to see if something is back there that's locked by Fire Rod or Lamp, as Zora once again rips off everybody, every seed, except for when you don't check him.
So that fake flipper not really netting any advantage here, other than the peace of mind that you're not going to be leaving behind that in logic Zora. Windfox looks like he's going to save and quit after this chest and kind of leave Dark Cross. So that's interesting. Ooh, okay. There's your Dark World. So this is where holding off on the mountain is pretty big, and it looks like Kaesden's also going to make that same play.
Yeah, Kaesden right behind. Kaesden has checked the Zora area, so if Windfox does go check that area, they'll be pretty close to one another. Windfox doing, I think, what has become a new normal. You see a lot of people go to the Village of Outcasts first, but it's becoming a little bit more common when you get that hammer and glove combo to do Hype Cave first, and then route your way over to Race Game area, then maybe save and quit, or maybe, you know, you find a mirror or a flute and you do some other things like that. But I'm seeing this route more often than I used to.
Yeah, the flexibility that it offers is something that's pretty nice. Not the most rewarding jet play, but if you're looking for some equipment, or, you know, maybe something to make the village faster, or just kind of maybe even getting a map check before you kind of commit to your next 10 minutes, it's a nice play.
Yeah, we do see Misery Mire green pendant, and then Swamp and Eastern are our blue and red pendants. We find half magic in a Hype Cave. Let's see if there's anything else exciting in here. Doesn't quite look like it, as Kaesden has full magic, so we'll have a really easy time with the escape sequence.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Kaesden does go for the Dark Cross item. You know, they both opted not to do it from the back. Windfox obviously not opting not to do it from the front. We know it's an item. Kaesden's a little bit better equipped here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're planning on doing Dark Cross until that hammer shows up. Once that hammer shows up, you're going to want to get to Dark World, and I think that that's probably what we'll see out of Kaesden, too.
The interesting thing is, it all starts with setting up that Death Warp, and, like, you might start setting up the death warp and spend, 15 seconds getting down to that half a heart, and then you get the hammer and you're already like on your way to die, and then like, I get the save and quit from Windfox 100%. It's just coming back for that item, is always slow regardless. Obviously, it's faster than, dying and bumbling around there when you're swordless, for sure.
Yeah, you could see Kaesden here setting up to stun that guard, gonna kill the ball and chain guard, and then use that green guard to kill, to die afterwards. But we'll see if he sticks with that route as soon as he finds the hammer.
And here's the half a heart coming, and then the hammer's gonna show up, and it's gonna be like, all right, what do we do now? All right, we're gonna check it.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you have the ability and the confidence to go into that dark room and find that chest, just get it over with now. I do like that play because the only other time you're going to be back in this area semi-conveniently is if you do Pyramid or Big Bomb and you have the mirror.
Yep. And we don't have the mirror right now, and Big Bomb is a decent ways away. So Windfox actually is going to the village now. I was going to say, I'm curious to see if we will see any sequence breaking of the mountain. We're gonna see a sick kid check from that bottle we got in Mini Mold Cave. And then we're gonna see the village, most likely.
Yeah, mountain's still not in logic, so maybe hoping to find a flute, because that does save you a little bit of time if you're able to grab that flute to get up to the mountain rather than walk through Old Man Cave. And without a sword, some people not super comfortable. I would imagine both Windfox and Kaesden are able to make their way through dark caves without a sword.
Kaesden next to the cross chest right now. Now we're just trying to grab it. Trying to find his way around here. He's by the torches. Bombs. All right. Nothing big, but it's taken care of. Kaesden being a little bit more thorough early on, getting that off his chest. Fake flipper already done, and he's not really too far behind here. Obviously, still the beginning of the race.
Yeah, these are checks that, though right now put Kaesden behind, if this later on turns into some sort of item hunt, and Kaesden has all of these checks that are kind of inconvenient to go and do later in the game out of the way, it can be really beneficial. So good job checking for that. We're seeing Windfox now dive into the dark village. We'll see Kaesden probably mimic what Windfox was doing and do Hype Cave over to Dig Game and then follow suit.
So one of the perks of that Hype Cave start that I was talking about is, since Dig Game is taken care of, once you're done with Village, all your checks really left are up north. So it kind of incentivizes you to do Village into Skullwoods, because then it gives you a nice save and quit out of that dungeon and kind of saves you the whole walk back. So, doing Village here first, probably not going to get anything to send us to Skullwoods. We don't have a sword, we don't have a fire rod. Chance of getting both is slim, but, at least we'll save some time when we do our next save and quit, and maybe find some more safeties or utility here.
And what Pod being a red crystal, that means that a bow and we can beat Pod, I'm pretty sure, and then we can get Fat Fairy. So that's a pretty early on Pyramid Fairy check that we're able to go and check, as Kaesden is going up north from not over to Dig Game.
Yeah, this is interesting for sure. He already did a fake flipper, so I get the catfish check here because you're not trying to lump it in with anything. It'll be interesting to see how far he takes this, whether or not after catfish he'll opt to like hookshot over and route the north all the way down again. Or if he'll even maybe now just go straight to Pod. I don't think he will, but
no, I would think that the play here is maybe catfish, hookshot across. Ooh, we find the ice rod on Pyramid. That's not needed now, but it's gonna be at some point.
That's a good find. It really, really depends on how this seed goes. but it's very, very possible Windfox will be able to get that at a later time when it's more efficient. So just something to keep in mind and kind of put on our list of, okay, Kaesden's been a little bit more thorough, a little bit behind. What does Windfox kind of have to loop in to keep his lead?
Yeah, and again, for Windfox, having a mirror would be a really good incentive, or even getting that bow. Again, if they can do both Thieves Town and Pod, go over and do the Pyramid Ferry, that's going to give Windfox a reason to go and check that Pyramid Ledge. So, not necessarily a huge reason that we can suspect that he's not going to make his way over there. It's just a matter of when do we get those items that makes that worth it.
Right. And like I was saying, this catfish play by Kaesden makes 100% sense. You know, the mirror's not going to help him at all at this point. He's done Zora, so he may as well just take this out, and if he finds something early, he could just push his advantage right now.
Yeah, Windfox has to be careful. Down to a heart and a half in Thieves Town, coming up on arguably the hardest part of Thieves Town, which is the
Windfox
Hellway.
did buy a red goo in Kakariko before coming in here. Interesting.
I think that Windfox wanted to save that potion for blind, was planning on doing a Hammer Samaria blind fight, and wants to save that potion for that instead. I personally would say just get the rest of the dungeon done, because once you get blind back to the boss area, you can always just walk right back there, and it's a little bit shorter of a trip, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're using Samaria, you know, having the fight not really on script isn't as big of a deal. And we're going to see more divergence here as Kaesden is going to the mountain. So...
yeah, again, this is that what you were talking about. Don't want to go to the mountain early because you can't do Hera, because you don't have Mirror Hammer. But at this point, okay, somewhere there has to be a flute or a fire or a lamp that gets us up here. But
did I miss something? Does Windfox have a mirror? Did I miss something?
There might have been a mirror in the front of Thieves Town. I did not catch that.
Okay, so mirror in front of Thieves then is... okay, that's massive on many levels. So now, okay. So Windfox now has access to all of Pen and Swamp. We have access to the sword on Hylia Island. And we have a cleaner way of doing Death Mountain. So, that's big. You know, probably obviously regretting not doing this before walking past K45. But still a huge find.
Yeah, I mean, you know that mirror is on Lake Hylia Island. I would almost be incentivized knowing that that mirror is there. Go and do Hera and come back to Thieves Town when you have a sword, but you are already in the area, and it depends on your comfort level. If you're comfortable with trying Hammer Samaria blind, might as well do it while you're here. And we see nothing on Spectacle Rock, as Kaesden's going to hookshot over and show us a bunch of items over in Paradox Cave.
Windfox making it through. Some nice use of the hammer there.
Yeah, right now for Kaesden, the worst thing that could be found is if Windfox somehow stumbles upon a flute, I think. That could be real rough for Windfox to have both the flute and the mirror going up to the mountain, where Kaesden just has hookshot hammer.
There's a flute! There's a flute in the big chest. Okay.
Oh my.
So Windfox is gonna mirror right after this and activate that. And this is where now, you know, we're saving a ton of time as far as that old man trip is concerned. But also, the flute and mirror are two of the big three utility items, so this is a pretty big payout, and for Kaesden's sake, hopefully nothing here that will push us away further from the village.
Ooh, and Windfox taking a death from that laser beam from blind.
Yeah, the head deals 2 hearts. and just kind of got cornered there before being able to use the red goo. And it looks like we're out. We got what we needed from here. No problem. Can always come back when we're gonna do Skullwoods, have mitts. I think this is a good bail.
I think this is a great call from Windfox. I think that there's always value in knowing when to say, I'm not going to waste a bunch of time here. I've already died twice in Thieves Town. I just got the flute in the mirror. That's tons of value. I'm way more comfortable going up to the Hera area, checking all of those checks. I even know where a sword is, so I can somehow find a way to loop that into a route to then come back to Thieves with a sword later on. I like knowing when to say, I'm going to bail on this. It's just the boss. I'll have to come back and do it later, but I did the rest of Thieves Town.
And here we are. We're at the mountain.
Yeah, and you're going to see how much more efficient this route will be for Windfox, being able to use that mirror and that flute.
All right, and it looks like we're gonna see a Herapod here. We have the big key, so we'll see how this looks. I know Kaesden's very comfortable with this. Great 1 pixel movement there to set up that pot.
Yeah, very nice first try Herapot. I still don't know that setup. I know how to do Herapot, but that setup that they use the blue blocks there for, I have not had a chance to learn yet. So very well done.
That one's a little bit more finicky because it involves a sub-pixel, and it can get pretty weird, where the trajectory sometimes will seemingly not cooperate with you. But yeah, very nice job with the 1 pixel movements there. And now you see Windfox is also in Hera, obviously doing it the other way. Gonna do Hera and then the side.
I think at this point, it's almost beneficial for Kaesden not to find much up here else to make sure that he heads right over to that Village of Outcasts area, because if you find all of a sudden, say, mitts or bow, that can deviate where you go from here, and really you want to get to Thieves Town from what we know.
100%, and already doing Pyramid Catfish and now doing the Mountain. I wouldn't be surprised if Kaesden were to push any advantage he can get.
Oh,
And
running right into Moldorm and getting knocked off. Round 2.
Windfox doing the same setup with the peg. There he goes. He got the pixel there. And 1 pixel off. Just gotta buffer 1 pixel. He got it. So a nice Herapot as well for Windfox. Grabbing that fairy. As Kaesden is still in this Moldorm fight.
Yeah, Moldorm can be tricky. I personally am a fan of being patient with Moldorm and let him come to you and do what you want him to do, because I see most people when they fall on Moldorm, it's because they're rushing the fight.
So
Kaesden able to beat
we're
Moldorm.
skipping an item here. There's an item downstairs.
Ooh, and no fire source to check it, and neither of these runners will be able to do that. So from here, Kaesden, not sure where. Oh, Spiral Cave, and then probably will save and quit from there.
Yeah, and this is where the efficiency that Windfox will get of doing Spiral Cave and then going into Paradox Cave will kind of help. Like, it's kind of crazy to think that Windfox already did, you know, that dig game area and all of Thieves, and like they're kind of neck and neck. You know how the mountain's going. You know, obviously Windfox didn't do a fake flipper, didn't rescue the old man yet. Probably waiting for, you know, some a sword or something. But it's cool to see all these different little small decisions kind of add up, and having so much divergence so short into the season.
Yeah, $300 in Spiral Cave, so nothing really of interest up on the mountain. We'll see if Kaesden does head over to the Village of Outcasts area now. Going to Sanctuary, looks like that might be likely. Windfox finishes up Moldorm very nicely. Whew, yeah, I mean, at this point, we'll see where Kaesden is when Windfox finishes up the mountain, because Kaesden does have those Zora and Catfish checks over Windfox, like you said, but they didn't net anything. They netted the Ice Rod on Pyramid, but now with the mirror, Windfox a little more likely to get over to that Pyramid area at some point.
Yeah, and with Dark Cross still unchecked, you know, that's something that might push him towards the Pyramid even more when it really comes down to it as far as the other one-offs. The Flute tends to push you away from the Pyramid because your pod access will be through 5 as opposed to walking past the Pyramid. But with the Flippers, it's very possible that Windfox will choose to like route in Pyramid Hobo whenever that pod play happens. Obviously, we still don't have a lot of items to work with. You know, no bow, no lamp, no swords. We know where one is, but...
Yeah, I think in a perfect world for Windfox, the bow and the lamp would show up to just go beat pod, and then you would take that 5-6 crystal from Pod and Thieves Town and go and check the Pyramid Ferry and do it all at that time. We'll see how deep into the sea the bow is hidden, because it is somewhere. We do need it to beat Palace of Darkness, but it could really be anywhere. We don't know if Palace of Darkness is early or late or any of that stuff. As we see Kaesden now going into the Dark World, gonna go into that village, and I would hope dive Thieves Town and check and get both those items.
And honestly, seeing that we've already done Outcasts and the Mountain, the list of checks, I'm thinking Pendant Swamp is 100% the answer here. I mean, we have like the little North Overworld with Skullwoods and Graveyard Ledge, obviously Pot and Eastern as well, but you have everything for Swamp. Like, let's do it.
Oh yeah, because somewhere in this Dark Village is also Flippers. I didn't catch where, but Windfox does have
the
them.
brewery.
Okay, yeah. So why not do Swamp? You have Hookshot, you have Flippers. You can go from Swamp and do Lake Hylia Island to find a sword, or you could grab the sword first. Not as efficient to do it that way.
Yeah, Windfox like 1 or 2 items away from getting a really clean route around that area of the Dark World that Kaesden, you know, unfortunately was only able to really do the Pyramid and Catfish. You know, with that mirror can like you said, can get the island, can grab Hobo with the mirror. If Pyramid Fairy comes into play, can do that with the Pyramid. So, you know, Windfox having the potential to save time, and I think we're gonna see a Swamp play here.
Kaesden having a little bit of a nice thing with his route, having not done Stumpy or Dig Game, went straight up to Catfish. When grabbing that mirror, will do those checks right over into Cave 45, right down into Swamp probably, or easily to do that. Because Kaesden didn't do those checks earlier, might be a little bit easier to make his way down to Swamp.
The thing about that is we already know that there's not going to be any big progression on the way to Swamp, and Windfox is going to have the first look there, most likely. I think he's going to grab the sword first here, though.
Well, unless K45 has something, that could be pretty big, because Windfox wasn't able to check that. That's the only thing that Kaesden could really pull ahead with an advantage on that route. But we do see Windfox gonna go grab that sword, and then probably head to Swamp, although with this route, he could be going anywhere. He could be going back to Thieves Town.
I like this play for the sword. I think if you do make the Swamp play, Fighter Sword makes a world of a difference. It could help even more on Argus if you're comfortable with spins and you're planning on full clearing that dungeon. It's just nice because unless you're finishing with Gold Sword, this sword is going to help you all the way through.
And Windfox going up to Hobo. Interesting to see if he'll bail on Swamp and go do that Pyramid Catfish. Ooh, we see Kaesden take a death. I don't know if that was intentional. I doubt it because he has the mirror.
No, no, it wasn't. Okay, I just looked back. Yeah, he had like 6 hearts. I was confused, but yeah, he got sniped under the bridges by all those guys.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. Kaesden not going to find the flute.
That is pretty rough, but I think... Okay, so Kaesden is going to make the play now. He does have that sword knowledge. But that flute's rough because it's right next to the statue, so you're just getting an extra trip to CAC that you have to walk there.
You know, it is rough, but there is also a point. If Kaesden is telling Qirn, I don't want to do blind, we know where his sword is, I want to get the sword before we do blind.
Windfox is getting his ice rod here.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about earlier with that mirror. Windfox has a lot more reason to come to this area because you can clear that dark cross that you left before. So you can get that out of the back of your mind as something that you're concerned about. That's something we'll definitely have to keep in mind and ask in the post-game interview, is if Kaesden was intentionally dying there. Looks like he got sniped, but did he really want the sword for blind anyway? Saving and quitting from here, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, already did most of those checks and, you know, wasn't going to go over to pod right now. Okay, Windfox doesn't look like he's checking Graveyard Ledge here. Little surprised. Kind of understand it, not having mitts or boots. So getting over to Graveyard Ledge, you do have to take the long way. But hookshotting over there is pretty quick. And while I'm thinking about these mirror checks, like you said before, Kaesden is actually not going to have K45 as an advantage here unless he does go over to Stumpy right now. Because of that save and quit.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that Kaesden is going to go into Swamp and then maybe do that after. Maybe mirror and then go back up to blind. Again, these run, I mean, they're on what, 8 hearts green mail? It's a little hard to walk through the dark world in green mail. So definitely easy to die. Both runners taking deaths in Thieves Town. Windfox does still have to go back and beat blind, but did get that flute from the basement where Kaesden died upstairs. So
yeah.
Oh man,
and Windfox already has the ball set up, and he also, as we're seeing now, is doing the checks that Kaesden already did, but more efficiently. So looking to me like Windfox has a early advantage from like the stuff done. All right, Kaesden's got to be careful here. Up, well, that's rough.
Yeah, this is tough. And both these runners, very interestingly, both of them have a red potion, at least one. I believe Windfox has 2 because the old man. Oh no, Windfox didn't do old man, I don't think, but old man gave a potion as well. So both of the runners do have a red potion that they could use for safety, and neither of them using it when they're on low health.
Yeah, the death that Kaesden took, obviously not a big deal. But,
Ether
yeah.
and Pendant Swamp could be a big deal, though. We'll have to see if that comes into play later.
I'm just concerned about this flute find for Kaesden. Like, there's no reason for the flute is not going to have any logical significance now because Kaesden broke the mountain, right? Until we find Titan's Mitts. And I'm worried that Kaesden might not go back for that for a long time, depending on how this lays out.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I can't imagine with it being a red crystal that Kaesden would leave it off for a long time. I could see Windfox putting off blind himself for a long time because that's just a boss you have to go kill to get to GT. I can't imagine that Kaesden will orphan Thieves Town forever, but every second and every check and every area he goes to that he doesn't go back to Thieves Town is going to be time that Windfox does have that flute as an advantage, and it looks like Windfox is doing what I prefer to do, which is check K45 before you dive Swamp.
Yeah, it's a safe call. I mean, Swamp is a full clearable pendant. You have a decent amount of equipment, so it can go either way. Just bombs for him. Yeah, I think we're gonna find a bow or mitts here in Swamp. It's just we have all the pieces. It just seems so likely at this stage.
Yeah, we're going to see both runners have Cane of Samaria, but I could tell you right now, Kaesden likes to do the bomb diver down setup. Uses a bomb to set up here, doesn't like to do that menu, really comfortable with the bomb setup, so we'll probably see that here, and we'll probably see Windfox use the Samaria, so keep an eye open. You'll probably see 2 different diver down setups.
Yeah, and That was quick. Kaesden. Oh! Just missed the getting out of the water there. But setting it up very quickly. Looks like he's got it. And the splash of the bomb will now trigger the switch, thus completing the diver down.
Very well done.
Yeah, the only real downside of using a bomb, you know, when you're on green mail and is you know, the hearts come into play again. You know, everything dealing a lot of damage here. This upstairs room that Kaesden's going to, low-key, is probably the hardest room if you're playing an Oko seed. Going through here without taking a heart is pretty tough.
Oh yeah, everything in here likes to hit you. And very nice job dodging. Oh wow, dodged everything and picked up a heart on the way.
So Kaesden going +1 in that room.
That was beautiful.
Left side swamp we see already has 1 item. And a big key. So, I like the call of left side swamp here. I think when you're going into a pendant, you're going in with the mindset of, okay, I'm doing something that's unrequired. I'm going to check as much as I can here to push the probability of success up here. You know, you're already going out of your way, so you may as well knock it all out. Especially if you could do a diver down.
Yeah, I highly agree, because you're only going into swamp because what other option do we have? You know, you don't have a lot of other choices, so you have to full clear it, because if your item's here and it's on left side and you miss it, well, you're just coming back in anyway.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we still have Pod, we still have Eastern. We have that northern area with Skull Woods and Graveyard Ledge. I believe we also have a Genis Cave?
Yeah, neither runner has checked out. We're probably more likely to see Windfox give that a check than Kaesden until he finds that flute. Kaesden having some trouble finding the pixel to line up, but once finding it, does get that second bomb diver down first try. As he's heading his way up to Argus, does still have that red potion, did just grab a fairy as well. That's nice to find on your walk there.
Yeah, that's the pokey prize pack, you know, in NMG runs where you just kind of get everything. And there's the mitts.
And
so there
you
it is.
called it.
Yeah, early swamp. You're oh, he better not bail. Wait, he's done. He's done. That's every item. Okay. So that left side first actually did pay off in terms of skipping Argus.
Yeah, because you found the big key. So you know that the only thing left in there was a non-essential item or a dungeon item that's on Argus. And we're going to see Kaesden now make his way up to the village. Now, with that glove,
I don't like
you
this.
can do Smith Chain and stuff like that, but do you just walk right back up to the village and do Thieves Town?
If you turn in the Smith, then you kind of feel obligated to take the purple chest. And if you take the purple chest, you're not getting your flute. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Now, Windfox just got his mitts. He's going to take out Argus because he doesn't have all the dungeon counts yet. We know left side swamp has 1 item in the big key with a 2nd item in the big chest. I think Windfox will go back in for left side. But, you know, already having that flute and the mitts, we've just opened up a lot of Mire area and Dark Death Mountain. So it's very possible we take those mitts and we leave.
Yeah, again, with our knowledge, we know that the play to make would be for Kaesden to go up, maybe turn in the blacksmith, then go do Thieves Town, then turn around, grab purple chest, and flute back to 7, maybe turn that in. But it's interesting because with those Titans mitts, the mountain's open for him too.
Right, 100%. I'm just curious how Kaesden's going to approach this, because the correct play is a tough call. The correct play is to go finish Thieves and then take down the Smiths. But I think he's going to pick up the Smith and do Hammer Pegs, and then either knock out the purple chest and come back later, or just orphan the purple chest entirely. So it's kind of a tough call as to like what the correct play here at Kaesden.
Yeah, normally if you're thinking about going through Swamp, jumping over to Windfox's side, you think, okay, well, going forward and killing Argus, not that big of a deal. Well, with Fighter Sword, it kind of is. You're seeing Windfox doing a lot of menuing to do a hammer strategy to kill Argus, which is taking a lot longer than the fight would normally take with Mastered or Tempered or Gold Sword. So Windfox, if Argus, we know that Argus doesn't have anything important. This is a bit of a time loss here doing this unless for some crazy reason Pedestal does come into play later.
Yeah, I mean, if he ends up skipping left side, it all ends up being worth it because he has a pendant under his belt, and Kaesden doesn't. And the amount of time he sunk into that is not as bad. I unfortunately feel like he is going to go back in for those 2 items. One of them being the big key, though, is pretty rough. Yeah, he's out. The problem with the left side swamp big key is you're sinking in 2 minutes for left side, and if you find the big key, then you got to go back to big chest anyway. So it's just the time sink just doesn't end.
Well, especially not with Mitch. You've got so many things we're going to see here. Windfox with the mirror can jump in and check chests in the Mire Shed, in Checkerboard Cave, in Desert. Still looking for some sort of fire source to be able to beat Desert Palace or go into maybe Mire. We'll have to see what the medallion is. It is Ether, so that swamp play is big. And it looks like Kaesden is going to go beat Thieves Town.
So yeah, the play I thought, he didn't find anything on Hammer, Pegs, or Smith. He's going to finish off Thieves here. He's going to get his flute. The question becomes, do you kind of think quickly and say, okay, I left the purple chest here, I'm going to finish that off? Or do you just say, I have the flute, let's go to Mire area? Windfox, by the way, just finding Bombos over there in the shed. I think the big problem now is that we don't have a lamp or fire rod. That is kind of a killer here. Don't really want to go into Desert. Don't really want to go into Mire. And with Bombos and Fighter Sword and Green Mail, I don't think any runner wants to go into Ice right now. With how the seed has been going, right?
Yeah, and with you already having Ice Rod, you really don't want to touch Turtle Rock for that one chest check until you get a Fire Rod, because usually the Ice Rod is what you're looking for. So maybe putting off Mountain, hoping for a Fire Rod so that if they can dive Turtle Rock, they can just get that over with while they're up there as well.
So it looks like Windfox is going to do a Aquinas here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a save and quit afterwards and just opt to leave Desert and Mire for when you have a Fire Sword. To which, I think at that point, we're going to see either Dark Mountain or Ice if he really feels confident.
It's a bow.
Wow, okay. So that doesn't feel good, I'll tell you that. But yeah, we now have access to Pod and Eastern. No lamp, no fire rod.
Oh, that is a scary, scary room, that pod basement. Do have Ether. Ether does make killing those turtles actually a little bit easier, because you can knock over 4 of them usually, use Ether really quickly, and kill 4 of them, which does make that room significantly nicer. But still, probably one of the more difficult dark rooms up there with the Misery Mire dark rooms.
Are we borderline now Fire Rod for go? Fire Rod and Master Sword?
Potentially. We'll have to see if Desert is boots locked. We'll see if Windfox checks it out, and it looks like he will.
Yeah, I like the call. The information is pretty powerful here as to how much you're going to continue clearing. Almost
no
50
boots.
minutes. Almost 50 minutes in, and both of our runners only have Hera finished. Windfox did finish off Argus, of course, but as far as our crystals, we only have the shortest dungeon.
Yeah, so we're a fire source away from being able to beat Desert. The map on that torch means no need to worry about boots in Desert. So the only way that boots could come into play is that very unlikely 1 in 22 chance that they're on Bob's torch in GT.
So SEJay, you think we go straight to Mimic Cave now?
If you're Kaesden, feel like it has to be talking in there. What on earth? Kaesden getting a lovely little
Okay, I hope.
Do you want to explain that? Because I don't really know exactly how that happens.
I think you press your map at a certain time and it creates this thing.
It doesn't affect the gameplay at all. Just messes with all the colors.
The game has good code.
It's almost like a game in 1991 has some, you know, glitches and bugs that people have found. All right, well, we do see Kaesden finishing off Blind. Blind had a piece of heart, so not a key item there. Whew, I mean, what do you go look for at this point? The world is pretty open to you. I would think of diving pod, but again, green mail, no fire source to light up that basement. It could be a tough one.
Yeah. And are we going to Skullwoods here? Okay.
I think Windfox wants to finish Thieves Town because
for sure
has that sword and all of these things.
You're potentially one item for go. You know, you wouldn't want to leave Blind if it's just chilling there, and you're comfortable now. You've done the rest of the dungeon, and by the time he finishes up here, Kaesden, if he goes to Meyer area now, they're both gonna be kind of synced up again.
Yeah, very different routes, but they are going to be pretty much at the same completion point around the same time. Windfox might have a little bit of a lead depending on how quickly he can finish off Blind here, but it is a very close race between these two, as we expected.
Yeah. Windfox going to save time here by not activating glitches during the blind fight, so that's great for him.
Yeah, with Qirn being Kaesden's mentor, you have to wonder what conversation was going on there right before they decided to do that.
Let's go immediately to Thieves Town. We have something important to take care
of. But yeah, like you mentioned, Kaesden not doing Purple Chest after getting that flute, going straight to Meyer area. So that is an item that is just kind of left there that Windfox might go do Smith Chain now.
It's kind of sucky because you just got your flute. You want to go knock out some checks, and the Purple Chest is weird because you don't really have a reason to go back to Village, and while you're there, it's one of those things that you can invest 30-40 seconds now, which isn't great, but coming back for it is horrible.
Windfox wanting some safeties, probably. I'm going to guess they're going for the pod play, because Windfox is grabbing safeties so that he doesn't die, and the only thing right now I can think of that's really going to kill these runners is, for some reason, a dive into Misery Mire without the lamp, or more likely the pod play.
Yeah. I think if you're really comfortable on your execution, the ice play can also be justified. I mean, Cold Stare would be pretty rough, but, you know, a go mode pod could be pretty fun, depending on the layout. So Kaesden's going to end this tour with Checkerboard Aginas. Going to get his bow. Probably going to go straight to pod as well. Although he just also got his Bombos, so we'll see if he chooses ice.
Yeah, Kaesden not doing Agina before or with Checkerboard, doing Checkerboard first, a little bit of a miss route there, I would say. I think that it's probably better to, if you're going to check Desert first, then go do Checkerboard and Agina after. But maybe you're hoping for a lamp. In that case, probably check Agina first. I don't know.
We got a Saha's Closet check. Bust. Okay. I was hoping for Boots, Fire Rod, Lamp in
there. Just all game, just he was hoarding everything. Unfortunately, not today.
Yeah, and man, wow, what a seed to have these runners go out in the first round of the playoffs with Fighter Sword, Green Mail, no fire source. You know, just low percent execution, and you know, both runners obviously confident, but the difficulty is showing.
Yeah, so Kaesden gonna find his bow here. Windfox at this point about just a trip to pod ahead of Kaesden, which again, this dark room, all of these dark rooms in Palace of Darkness, the dark maze, the dark basement, and the walk to the boss can cause issues. Now as we find a shovel.
only difference between them now, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Kaesden has done Old Man and Dark Cross,
And Smith.
and Smith routing up. He also
And
did
that's
left
about
side.
it.
He did left side Swamp, but Windfox did Argus. So
That's kind of a wash, yeah.
I mean, that Argus fight was a brutally long fight. But yeah, Dark Cross and Old Man being locked by fire, it's very possible Windfox never goes back for those. The Smiths, a little bit up in the air. I mean, right now we're dungeon diving.
It'll be interesting to see if Kaesden flutes to 8 or to 5 here. We're going to see Ice Palace. So we're going to see a split again here. I personally think Ice Palace is a little bit safer to do than that Dark Room in Palace of Darkness. It obviously depends on your comfort level, but Ice Palace at this point, with a blue potion and a red potion, you can do Icebreaker. You have kind of everything you want with Bombos. You don't have an invulnerability item, but you can use the hammer and get it done.
I mean, I think the big thing here is that we're looking for Fire Rod, right? If you find Fire Rod and Ice, your Cold Stare is going to go down like this, and the potential shenanigans you can do in Pod, like if you find an early big key, you can save up to like 4 minutes in there. So I like the Ice play, definitely sinking more into the execution side of things, I would think.
Yeah, because there's a lot of items in Palace of Darkness that at this point, I mean, we don't know where the lamp is, so they could be in logic if we did find that lamp. As Kaesden pulling off a very nice bomb strategy,
There's the
and
lamp.
there's our lamp.
I was going to say one other point to this Ice play is that Kaesden's going to have a lot more clarity on whether or not to dive Eastern after finishing Ice, whereas Windfox is going to have to make the decision, I have a crystal I can do. Do I want to dive Eastern? And you're already over here, so it's kind of hard. So I do like Kaesden's decision here a little bit more. Obviously getting a little bit rewarded here with the lamp as well, so Pod is going to go much smoother.
Yeah, interesting to as Windfox throws a bomb the wrong direction. Interesting kind of thing that Kaesden is doing. Kaesden does hit that switch. I've seen some runners opt to not hit that switch and just go do Ice Palace Vanilla if they're planning on full clearing it. What are your thoughts on the Vanilla Ice Palace play versus taking that time to go back and hit that switch? Specifically because we did find an item already, so we're only looking for 2 more.
I always like hitting the switch here, you know, especially when you're getting close to go mode. Sometimes it can feel like, oh, I just got a compass, you know, 3 items, I'm gonna full clear anyway, you know. But then when you get burned, you're kind of just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have been lazy here. Maybe I should have invested the 10 seconds, because that time comes back when you end up trying to go to Cold Stare anyway. So it's one of those things that if you kind of get into a habit of doing, you'll never get burned by like finding 2 items right away. And, okay, now I'm kind of locked in, you know? You kind of keep that flexibility open.
And we do find Quake in Harmless Hellway, so potentially a Turtle Rock medallion. We do have all 3 medallions now, so
I'm ready for Mimic Cave. I'm ready.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Could we get back-to-back weeks of Mimic Cave required progression?
I'm ready. If Fire Rod is locked in TR, I'm done. I feel for Kaesden. He can't get away from Mimic Cave.
I have no idea who he talked to or what he was cursed by, but Kaesden has such a record with Mimic Cave items. It amazes me how many of his seeds have progression there.
Windfox now navigating Dark Maze, finding bombs in the top left. Doing a decent job here getting through. Has a mirror, so we'll be able to do this semi-quickly as far as getting back and doing the boss.
Yeah, Dark Maze always feels nicer with a mirror because you only have to go through it once. Some people, you know, going through the front direction from the locked door up there is what most people are comfortable with. Going back through the back way can confuse some people if you haven't done it a lot.
We got
As
some
we find
bombs.
bombs, I believe that's all 3 items in Ice Palace. So Kaesden just going to have to go and fight Cold Star, which again, scary fight with green mail. Those puffs do a lot of damage to you.
Yeah, your health disappeared very quickly. You know, looks like you have a lot of health, but falling ice is going to deal, 2 hearts. And, yeah, hopefully the blue potion gets used.
Yeah, with a blue and a red potion, Kaesden looking to go ahead and beat Cold Stare. There is a
Windfox
safety
struggling here, by the way.
Oh
Windfox
yeah.
really struggling.
There is a
He's got
safety you can do in Ice Palace where you can hug that top wall and the falling icicles won't hit you. We'll see if Kaesden has to resort to that at all. Windfox looking for somewhere to go as Kaesden takes a hit right off the bat. Oh my goodness, one more hit.
And there it is. Okay. That's unfortunate. Curious to see if he will leave. Yep, he's out. He's going to pod.
Yeah, and I don't blame this at all. The only thing left in Ice is that boss. So, though it's a time commitment to go down there, don't waste another 3 minutes when you still have other places that you want to go and check. With the lamp, Palace of Darkness is free.
Windfox has got to get out of here.
Oh, is he still in Dark Maze? You know that behind the scenes, Gamma's trying to walk him through the direction to go, but at a certain point, you just have to make the call to leave and hope that it's fine. Ooh, Kaesden actually opting to go and beat Desert first.
Not a big fan of this call. Meyer is kind of fully on the table here.
All of that for Windfox for a compass. We'll have to see if the big chest has anything, but so much time lost there navigating that dark maze.
The thing is that Kaesden still has a complete Ice Palace he's got to go back and do. So it's almost as if Windfox still has this whole front of pod advantage. So not going to burn too much here. If he can find a Master Sword or something, he'll still be in a good boat here.
Yeah, really shocked to see Kaesden on those 4 hearts, not just taking that potion. I mean, honestly, you find anything. You find Master Sword, you find Blue Mail, you find a Fire Rod. Any of those things are going to make Ice Palace way easier to come back. So we'll go back there eventually as we're going to see Windfox go ahead and do this Dark of Pod basement area.
We still have all of Dark Death Mountain on the table. So it's interesting to see the runners really commit to all this execution when there are alternatives available.
Kaesden not using the Ice Rod on Land Molas.
Alrighty, Windfox entering probably one of the more scarier dark rooms in this game when you don't have a Fire Rod as well. Yeah, Kaesden really putting the bow to good use here.
It's just an interesting... I wonder if they've forgotten that they have Ice Rod, because I feel like in all situations the Ice Rod is a better weapon there.
Getting a nice refill for killing the boss. Yeah, Ice Rod is just a better weapon in general for Landmo, and also if you're planning on going into Mire, you definitely want to save full quiver for Vitreous. So...
And here comes that ether play. Here comes the ether
got
play.
a lot of turtles there.
I think that was 3 or 4.
That was 3.
Again, you can see that when you use ether, every time you hear those turtles get knocked over, you can just use ether to kill them. You've got half magic. You've got plenty of magic to burn. So there's another one down.
One more, I believe. And there we go. We got the last 2. Windfox is through. So all we really found here is a Quake. I think after this, Windfox is probably going to go to Dark Death Mountain, unless he's ready for Ice. But I feel like if he was comfortable with Ice, he would have went earlier. Might turn in the shovel first. Windfox doing an excellent job with patience here.
Well, again, 3 hearts. You have those potions. You can easily get double sniped by Helmasaur here. I'm surprised to not see Windfox just use one.
Just taking it slow. And we're gonna get 8 arrows here. Oh, he's gonna get hit with the tail. Oh, wow. What a dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Down to 1 heart. He's gonna use the red here. 2 more arrows. And there we go.
Yeah, so not really finding anything in ice. We'll have to see if Helmasaur drops anything important. I wasn't keeping track of the items. Just $50. Yeah, Death Mountain looks like it's starting to get better and better. It's not ideal, but you can even dip Turtle Rock there and see what that first chest is.
I think Windfox at this point will probably do Pyramid Fairy after going through the effort of taking down Helmasaur. And then potentially commit to Dark Death Mountain or Ice Palace. But right now, still looking pretty even. I mean, Kaesden's got to go completely back through ice. And only really has a Desert Palace back, kind of as a lead.
And I like this call by Wind and Gamma. Go and refill that potion. You have plenty of rupees. You just use one. Just go grab another one so that you are nice and safe. This is a low % seed right now. You know, you're on 11 hearts and green mail, so get those safeties.
We're going to the mountain. Oh, no, we're going to ice. So this is good for Windfox. What does he now have? 3 blues?
Yeah, I believe he's rocking 3 blue potions. We'll find that lamp, which probably wishes he would have found before spending all that time in Dark Maze. But yeah, we'll have to see how Windfox fares against this low % Cold Stare fight. Because again, not the easiest boss in the world to kill, but does have more health than Kaesden had.
I think they're going to be getting out of here around the same time. But Windfox hopefully will have the dungeon to show for it.
I think Kaesden trying to gamble and hope that that bridge chest was another item or the big key so that he wouldn't have to check the chest here, but just a small key, so gonna check these.
Yeah, and that's the worst part of Pod that I was talking about. Like, you never know how these key layouts go, and it just keeps sucking you in for one more chest, you know, and just kind of counting up the logic and seeing where the items go.
And Kaesden is going to have the lamp, so backup pod going to go a little bit quicker. Windfox has a little bit extra health. I definitely think that if Windfox is able to defeat Cold Stare here, that's a major advantage over just having the lamp for pod. Yeah, at this point we are kind of in a fire rod hunt. We've got Death Mountain. We do have Mire on the table. Misery Mire with the lamp is, you know, and the Cane of Samaria.
I don't like the setup that Windfox is doing, because when you face the shadow that direction, you actually are on a different pixel, and you need to... Normally it's 1 pixel in the door when you're facing left. When you're facing right, I think you need to have, like, no pixels in the door. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, definitely a more difficult way to set that trick up. Does pull it off after a couple of tries, as gonna make his way through ice here. As Kaesden makes his way through, Pod gonna see him go through the back, mirror, and then go straight to Helmasaur. Yeah, it's just a fire rod hunt. It's just a good old fire rod hunt.
The worst part is that there's a lot of bad options right now. I mean, Pyramid Fairy obviously being one of the better ones, and Dark Death Mountain, but like, you know, Fire Rod can be Skull Woods. You know, Fire Rod can be obviously Internal Rock. We are all mentally prepared for that.
Some are potentially excited for that possibility.
Some a little too excited. Some people may or may not be fired from Rolling Seeds after this one. Results yet determined.
Yeah, we still haven't decided. Ooh, and Kaesden falling down there. That's unfortunate. Still haven't decided yet if... Oh, gonna grab this last chest for a small key. That's why he fell down there.
Okay, so yeah, he had key logic set up. He knew that that was going to be his Helmosaur key. So he kind of went to the back first and kind of just said, okay, I'll save this for when I do the boss. But yeah, Windfox going into Cold Stare. Kaesden gonna finish after. You know, I think even with what's been going on, Windfox has a healthy lead here.
Yeah, I would agree with that because Windfox has done pretty much everything Kaesden has done.
Except for Desert. But that's just Landmo.
Oh, Fighter Sword spins for Cold Stare. Again, each time the puff touches you, that is 4 hearts. Now, Windfox does have the benefit of being able to take a couple of extra hearts, and hopefully will be a little more willing to use the potions than Kaesden was right at the beginning here.
I like this call. I like this call. You're doing fighter spins. You're just committing and saying this fight's gonna take longer. I'm not gonna try to use hammer and just brute force my way through it. I'm just gonna do fighter spins, sip my 3 blue potions, and just get out of here with a victory.
Gonna have to be very careful because at this point, a puff hit into one of those icicles will kill Windfox. So, oh, we'll see. Oh, I would drink a potion here. You've got 3 hearts.
Yeah, you have 3 potions. You did this for a reason. No reason to die with 1 on hand. He got more than enough hits for his first sip to be on pace to get this boss fight down. Very commendable fight here with how tough this equipment layout is.
Yes, very tense fight. Doing a good job of not taking a lot of hits here while getting slashes in. Oh, that puff does hit him. But again, like you said, you bought 3 potions. Use them. And he does use one there. This is, you know, there is, again, that safety strategy. If you hug that top wall, those icicles won't split into 4 and hit you, but you're then kind of at mercy of just waiting for the puffs to come to you, which takes even longer than chasing them down.
I think this fight is going to speed up very quickly because, you know, all the puffs getting their health down kind of at the same time. You're just going to start seeing them die kind of all together. So it doesn't really look like a lot of progress being made now, but I think it's going to clean up pretty nicely.
There is 1 puff down.
As Kaesden, pinned by Helmosaur, takes him down. And the thing is, when Kaesden does come back here, he will potentially will have a slow fight as well. So, you know, doesn't mean that Windfox is losing all the time here.
Now, Windfox just has 1 puff to go. This fight gets easier and easier the fewer you have, and he has beaten Cold Stare. That is a huge advantage at this point over Kaesden.
Yeah, I would say Go Mode Ice with proper equipment is, you know, a good 3-minute sync. And, you know, minimum right now with the... Oh, wait, Kaesden? Eastern. Looks like Eastern's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we're fluting. We're fluting. No, we're fluting.
Okay, we're fluting. I mean, it's kind of rough at this point, too, because at this point, for Kaesden to get back into this, just has to gamble where the Fire Rod is first, and then also have that time to catch back up with that Ice Palace play. It does look like Windfox is going to go over and do Desert, so that is going to happen. We'll be caught up with Kaesden's stuff after that. So the biggest thing right now is that Cold Stare fight.
it's a tough call. I mean, I still think the desert cleanup is kind of rough because, you know, you have Pendant. Okay, so the shovel turning out to be nothing. You have Pendant Eastern fully available. You have Pendant Mire fully available. You haven't done Dark Death Mountain yet. And you're not really committing to these pendants yet. And it's going to be a tough call when you eventually do. Kaesden making the play, though. We're gonna see Dark Death Mountain. I really don't want to see a Fire Rod here. I'll tell you that. Although a Fire Rod here will make this a very close race. It will speed up Kaesden's redip of ice immediately.
And Kaesden opting not to go up and use the Turtle Rock entrance might mirror and dip that. Honestly, if you're making this play up here, if you don't find Fire Rod in Super Bunny or Hookshot, I feel like you have to check out Turtle Rock.
You do, but you also get that time save if you just find the Fire Rod here in Super Bunny, because at that point you save and quit, and you save TR as your last dungeon. You have all 3 medallions. You're not searching for any information at this point. So, to just leave after Super Bunny is preferred. Although, with Fighter Sword, I don't think we're going to see that anyway. Windfox doing some Ice Rod here.
And there's that Master Sword for Kaesden. That's going to make him going back to ice a lot more comfortable. Those Master Sword spins do Tempered Sword damage. That makes Cold Stare a lot easier.
Windfox taking down Lanmo. Now claiming that 1 dungeon lead that, you know, if Kaesden didn't die to Cold Stare, Kaesden would have a nice lead, having been able to do pod quicker. But that redip is going to sink out 3 minutes minimum out of his Dark Death Mountain climb ahead. Oh, there it is. Okay. We got Fire Rod. We got Master Sword. We are probably not checking Mimic Cave this seed. Where's Kaesden going?
Turtle Rock?
Where's
Is
he
he
going?
doing Turtle Rock?
You should leave. Go to Skullwoods. Get out of here.
He's going to do Master Sword Turtle Rock on Green Mail with 12 hearts.
I don't like this call at all.
I mean, if you go to do the other ones first, you have to come up the mountain again anyway. You could pick up some safeties, maybe off of bosses. But you're in go mode now, so...
There's no reason to knock out... There's no reason to knock out Turtle Rock right now. And if Windfox is making the play, so... Windfox is at go mode as well, up in Ice Palace. We got a race. I think Windfox, with Gamma as his mentor, he's going to save and quit out of Hookshot Cave. He's going to go finish off Skullwoods, grab a couple more Blue Goos, and then take on Turtle Rock. And we're in Master Sword Silverless Greenmail mode, so yeah.
Oh yeah, at that point it's anybody's game, and no invulnerability items, and that's huge. Because Master Sword Silverless is not the end of the world if you got Cape to spin through Phase 2. You just use Cape, turn it on, spin a bunch of times, and don't worry about it. But without an invulnerability item, Ganon hurts a lot on Green Mail.
Yeah, this call by Kaesden is... I'm not a fan of this call. I mean, you're going to end up going to Laser Bridge. You're going to most likely be doing bootless, safetyless laser skips. End up taking maybe a safety door. I don't know. I leave out of Hookshot Cave and go wrap up your dungeons. You have Fire Rod and Master Sword. You're comfortable taking out Moth right now and Cold Stare. And you're kind of just upstart about being in go mode.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Kaesden taking 2 hits from those rollers, you can see on Green Mail, you die in Turtle Rock fast. Taking another hit right there, at this point, just take the Death Warp.
Yep, and he will do that. Also, he could have save and quit there as well. It doesn't hurt to save and quit out of that room, and then come back anyway, because, once again, you're going to be passing through TR on your way to GT anyway.
Okay, let's see what Windfox is going to do here.
I think he's save and quitting. I think he's out. If Gamma... I think that's a play that Gamma would say as well. Jumping down. Let's see. He's mirroring. He's out. All right. Are you ready for this, SEJay?
Oh my gosh, we've got a race. I mean, it all comes down to who can execute at low percent better. Windfox so far has executed better by killing Cold Stare the first trip in there, but there are still a lot of difficult fights left. I mean, if
Honestly,
Windfox finds safeties, that's going to be huge because when Windfox heads to Turtle Rock, even with Blue Mail or Tempered, it's going to be so much easier.
honestly, Windfox, you know, has just kind of played a slower, safer game plan. I mean, Kaesden, you know, the Death in Swamp, you know, not super costly, losing 6 hearts and Thieves. And then Cold Stare just kind of lost 8 hearts in the span of seconds.
Oh,
So,
Kaesden.
oh man. Okay, what was our layout so far? We have big key, we have small key. Okay, so that's not the end of the world because that key he picked up, that's a stolen key.
Yes, that is huge that he was able to grab the key steal before dying, because now you just go back, you take the other portal, and you just run straight to the back
Yeah.
here. Oh,
With
and
it,
unfortunately puts in the wrong
with
direction.
his last breaths, picking up that key, not the end of the world. Still costly. Still gonna have to go through this annoying pipe maze room. But I think these deaths are mentally taking a toll right now.
And Windfox just going a little bit too far over to the side. I always laugh when I fall down those holes in Skullwoods, because most of the time you don't, but every now and then you do, and it feels kind of silly when you do.
Getting through there very nicely for Windfox. Needs to get a key here.
And Kaesden is doing the big chest skip, which is a safe play here.
More
The only way this
importantly, he's skipping Mimic Cave. Yeah, it's he's got a high probability, as you were saying, SEJay. Trying to just find a key here because he stole the Poke Key.
I mean, honestly, the only way that I can see this paying off for Kaesden at this point is if somehow he finds the boots. And even then, I don't know if that's enough. Oh, and both small keys going straight to Trinex.
Yeah, so gonna be able to skip kind of a painful laser bridge loadout. The unfortunate thing here is that since we made the big chest gamble, you know, if you don't succeed at Trinex, you're back to start.
Oh, at this point after the deaths, if I was Kaesden, I would be taking the safety door and just not checking the chests on Laser Bridge.
Windfox struggling here. We have one more blue to work with, if needed. And Moth is down.
Yeah, so for Windfox, it's kind of, he's going to head up to Turtle Rock now too, it looks like. Not much more equipped than Kaesden was. Kaesden going to check Laser Bridge with some skips to potentially look for a Tempered. You got to be careful here.
3 hearts. Don't get hit by this guy. Not taking any chances. Yeah.
And finally, Kaesden uses a potion on low health to not die. I like that play.
Well, that would have been good if that was a refill.
Again,
Back in Oko mode. Back in Oko mode for Kaesden.
Get out of that door, Kaesden.
I don't like checks. Windfox now just a Turtle Rock behind, already with Ice and Skull complete. And Kaesden getting a compass.
You don't have powder? You don't have mushroom? You're gonna go do green mail Trinex? I would have taken a death there to heal up.
I mean, you have half magic. You have half magic, so if you can just get down the fire head, you can kind of just spam the fire out on the ice head and not really have to worry too much.
in chat, wall kicks, feeling kind of the same stress that we are, Shareen, of getting Kaesden to the door. Yeah, just go where it's safe. Kaesden doing hammer strategies here. 2 more hits for that head, and does touch the toe.
Not even chancing it. Ice is now on the ground. The screen is lagging. We're at full health.
Use Fire Rod. Use a lot of Fire Rod shots. Nope, gonna go back to hammer strats.
Definitely trying to pad that menu time.
Knows that Windfox did a hammer boss earlier with Argus and says, I can also do menu bosses, as he takes down the Firehead. I think that was a double spin on the head, which is nice.
That it was.
Should just take 3.
4, and 5 to do it.
Alright, so Kaesden finished with Turtle Rocks. Windfox going in. Does Windfox take a slower route to check maybe Mimic Cave or Big Chest for a safety?
Honestly, I think Windfox is going to save time here. I think he's going to make the same skips that Kaesden did. But once again, Windfox at this point has 6 crystals. Trinix is the 7th. I think the thought process that Windfox is feeling and Gamma is feeling is, let's look in GT for safeties. This is our last dungeon. I'd rather not waste the time on Laser Bridge. Like, Kaesden sunk a lot of time on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I don't like the Laser Bridge play. I mean, if you're really good and really comfortable at laser skips, which Kaesden knows how to do laser skips, as we saw, but it is such a time commitment, and you're right, for Windfox, once you get to Laser Bridge, probably take that safety door. There's no reason not to. And then let's just do Trinex, and if we die, well, we'll do Trinex again, and we'll just do Trinex until we're done, and we'll find some safeties over in GT.
Did Windfox restock on another 3 or 4 blues?
We're going to have to turn to chat for that one.
Yes, I think so. I saw blue in his inventory. His rupee count, getting below Zora territory. That's kind of the tale here of how Windfox has been playing. Safe, consistent, and having a slight lead over Kaesden as a result. I mean, it's literally almost the Ice Palace death apart. By the time Kaesden finishes Skull and were to theoretically reclimb the mountain, you know, that Cold Stare death is really what's separating us.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that's separating them. And, ooh, Windfox, unfortunately, not getting a perfect Chain Chomp room, but wait, they're not behaving right now. Ooh, and takes a bite.
4 hearts to the face.
Oh!
And there we go. Windfox taking a death.
Oh!
Probably heard that Kaesden had a rough time.
Shareen, you said early on that you wanted something up with this seed. Well, we got a low % seed, and we are seeing it in full effect. When you get to these higher dungeons on Greenmail, it is so easy to die.
Yeah, nothing like a gold sword bracket having fighter sword execution.
And, you know, for Kaesden, each one of these times Windfox dies or, you know, something goes a little suboptimally, Kaesden hopefully can try to make up some time there, because man, that death on Cold Stare is a lot of time lost, and you have to make up that time somewhere if you're hoping to win. And
Windfox in lethal territory again.
Oh my goodness, I'm losing it!
Gonna use the pegs, get the chest, got the key, we're through.
Oh my goodness. Still not safe, can die to the pokey when you're stealing the key.
Windfox not canceling stair lag there and going down the stairs. Sipping the goo now. Not even gonna go close to this pokey over here.
Kaesden takes down Moth, gonna head over to Ice Palace. So it's all a matter of, can Kaesden finish Ice Palace, beat Cold Stare, with Fire Rod, a much faster fight.
Kaesden's gonna be a mountain climb and change behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to GT execution.
Windfox getting a little bit bopped there.
I like this play. Get away from the skulls. They hurt. They do a lot of damage. Play safe. You know,
Yeah,
kind of this whole thing. Windfox has taken time, played safe. Yeah, you're losing time, but you're on green mail, and your opponent probably is too.
I've had seeds where I've been over there with 8 hearts and getting hit by a skull, comboed by the bunny beam, taking away your iframes. You can lose a lot of health there very quickly. Yeah, Windfox making the play. He's gonna skip Laser Bridge, I think. Do not think he's confident with bootless laser skips. Kaesden now going in for the refight of Dungeon 7 for him. Just a mountain climb behind.
Yeah, gonna have to run to Cold Stare really quick. Again, GT is gonna be tough, and Ganon's gonna be tough. No safeties. We'll see what we find in GT, but at this point, we are Master Sword Silverless Green Mail.
This is so rough because
Kaesden not just skipping that room. Sometimes muscle memory takes over. Doesn't have to do anything in Ice Palace except for run to Cold Stare.
Yeah, we're gonna end up doing an icebreaker. We're gonna hit the switch. Oh man. Oh man. I'm just hoping we don't see anything too tragic here.
Windfox, I think, still should take the safety door. Oh, taking a hit from the lasers. Oh,
nope,
he's
going
straight.
For it. He's got 2 blues, I think at least. I think this is the right call. You're not gonna run out of magic here. So the only real problem is if you don't sip the potions.
Oh, and Kaesden having a hard time with Icebreaker here.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah,
Kaesden just got to take down Cold Stare. Will be a mountain climb behind. Windfox heading into Trinex has another 3 potions. Obviously not afraid to sip them.
Gotta do Master Sword strategies.
I like this call. You're confident with the potions. No need to start menuing anymore. Our menu time is really high. We got to cut that down a little bit.
Yeah, doing a good job. Again, yeah, there's ice on the floor, but just take your time. Like, you're on green mail, you've got your potions, take your time.
Spam.
Let it happen.
Spam. Just spam. There we go.
We can ask that later, but I bet you that was a Gamma mentoring moment where he was just telling him to just spam the head with the fire rod there.
And the head is down. We are in lethal range. We can't pause. We can't pause because the menu is busy with this animation. Get away from the head. Sip a blue goo. No!
No!
I saw that coming.
Shareen! And he didn't take the safety door. This is huge.
You can't mash start because the boss is in an animation of dying. That was not the right call there. It's a shame because I think from my experience mentoring Windfox that he is not streaming at a low enough latency that was a mistake. Probably was mashing start there to get a goo.
Oh, that's huge. That's Kaesden's in the lead now. Kaesden just has to climb up to GT.
Yeah. We got a Master Sword Silverless still, so that's heartbreaking. Windfox was just not in the right place there.
Yeah, it's tough. Because, yeah, you're losing time to take that safety door, but again, and I guess you think you have so many potions and it's totally safe, but now he has to go back to Trinex with way fewer potions.
It's not even the safety door. He had half magic. He had 3 blue goos. The issue there was he was at 3 hearts. The boss was exploding. When the boss is exploding, you can't menu. And he was just standing in a spot like he was ready to hit. But Trinex's head always comes out in that pattern where it just charges you, and like he was standing too far to the right there. That was just a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, so both runners having a major disaster. Kaesden having that death to Cold Stare. Windfox having a death to Trinex. I mean, both probably take a similar amount of time to run just straight back to the boss. So, kind of evens out at the end.
GT routing definitely still in play here.
Yeah, from watching Kaesden before, I know that Kaesden's comfortable with the Hope Room. If he finds a key, go right, otherwise full left. So we'll have to see if he changes that up. I mean, maybe he feels behind and feels like he has to do something else, because at this point, I think both these runners feel behind because of those deaths. And chat's saying they want Big Key on Torch.
I mean, if Key's on Torch, we still have 2 pendants untouched. Got a lot of stuff left to do, so it's possible. We have not full cleared the seed by any means. We're entering GT at the 130 some mark.
Kaesden doing a very nice job of avoiding those fireballs from the Lionels.
Windfox making the same call here, going in without safety door. I don't think he needs the safety door. I just think he needs to play his game. Once again, just a Trinex fight behind. Has Kaesden's opening the tower. Mere minute and a half maybe.
Oh, and takes a
how
hit
fast
right from that
it's
Firehead.
Yeah, he's gonna be a couple minutes
and
behind here.
Windfox having
Animation again. He's got to watch it. He can't pause. Okay, he gets it this time. Yeah, the Firehead was exploding. He couldn't menu there.
Yeah, Windfox, I think the nerves are getting to him a little bit. Doing those Ice Rod shots a little bit early.
I don't think he's got any more potions here, so he's got to... I wouldn't stand there. The spikes. Oh, this is hard. This is rough. Kaesden! Kaesden, what are you doing?
No, is he doing Tile Room first? They think they're that far behind.
I blame Qirn. Oh my goodness, this is a race. This is a race. Windfox, scooch to the left. Scooch to the left, Windfox. Oh my goodness.
Takes 10 Master Sword slashes here to kill Trinex, so not out of the woods yet.
Hopefully we could find at least a cape here in Tile Room. Oh baby, we got a safety.
One bug net for fairies. That is a safety. Kaesden will be able to pick up fairies. I don't know how much that's worth spending the time in Tile Room, but okay. You know, I did see on Qirn's Discord a conversation about doing Hope Room, and then if there's no key, still doing Tile Room, and if you get a key, then still go full right.
And so he had a key, but he used it on the door and just didn't go through? Oh goodness. This is enough where a Dark Magician will change the...
Big key, big key, big key.
Big key is here. Do we have a sword or silvers?
No, but we have more keys.
And a 14th heart. Bugnet not going to do us anything here. Unless we take that safety door. Kaesden's climbing. We got a bootless, silverless, Master Sword Greenmail climb. Windfox is entering the tower.
Congratulations to Fred for winning the big key guessing game. Sorry, we were losing it. We didn't even mention that. But you guys know. You've been here long enough.
There's a thing where you guess numbers and someone won. Windfox, you know, out of potions. Not going to have that bug net. Probably drink too much Powerade this seat anyway. Probably needs a bathroom break. Gonna go right here. Might take that small key and continue on going. Which would be pretty unfortunate.
Kaesden down to 4 hearts.
Okay, if Windfox can snag a Tempered Sword here...
That's huge.
I honestly think that will make up the time. No!
Why is...
Windfox,
they've had to have agreed to do this.
Windfox wants that bug net.
I think that before the race, they both agreed that they were going to do Tile Room first.
Well,
and we are seeing it in action. These two are good friends outside of the tournament. They've raced each other multiple times, and they both decided, they made a pact, and you know what? They agreed with it. As Kaesden does a bomb jump to get to the safety room.
Yeah, no using the bug net there. Have potions. Tile room here. Nice safety. Fluffing the collection rate. Windfox. Leaving? I'm so confused by that play.
I feel like they had to have talked about what they were doing in GT before.
No. Something there's shenanigans here. All right, Windfox gonna get his big key. Kaesden climbing the gauntlet.
I mean, at this point, Silver's up top is going to be big. Windfox having issues using the hammer here. Has to wait for the bumper to go all the way around again.
It seems they coordinated how they were going to route GT, what bosses they were going to die to, and I think the whole seed was just a script. Unfortunately, we didn't get the fire out where we wanted it to be. The race is still very close. Windfox not going through any more chests.
On almost a one cycle for Kaesden on those land modes. Going to have to do one more fire shot here.
Kaesden has a nice minute and a half lead, I would say, right now. 2 minutes. Master Sword Silverless, that can go away very quickly, although Kaesden does have the edge when it comes to his potion situation. So things looking good for Kaesden here.
Yeah, I think both these runners are definitely going to check these 4 chests up top here as well. Looking for a sword or blue mail or anything to give them some comfort.
I mean, Windfox didn't open on any other chest in Dark Magician Room, so that to me is a sign that they're just ready to finish the seed.
Oh, what a close race as we see Kaesden now heading towards Torch Room as Windfox makes his way up the gauntlet. Oh my goodness, as Kaesden has to be careful here.
Kaesden getting bullied a little bit, getting some arrow refills.
Yeah, don't even have a mushroom to fake powder any of these fairies to catch with a bug net, so Kaesden going in with, I believe, at least 2 blue potions. I think Windfox might only have 1.
Windfox not going to put that bug net to use. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and as we kind of are climbing here, quick shout out, thanks to Laoria again and Jere Dudecia for restreaming Laoria on tracking. Thanks to Shareen for commentating this with me. It's been huge. And there's blue
There's
mail.
a blue mail.
We have a safety.
We are now in safety go mode.
That is huge. That is a huge item to find because Master Sword Silverless Ganon just got, twice as easy. You could take twice as many hits now.
Unfortunately, when Ganon hugs you, he deals like 30 hearts, so it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help too much.
Is it exactly 30? I thought it was 29.
Oh my goodness. Kaesden having a blast here on Whack-A-Mole.
That's 2. Nicely
Nice
done getting through. Windfox having to take a much slower approach to land modes because Windfox has to conserve that magic. Those potions coming into play here.
Nice compass. And we're going to have a Master Sword Silverless to end our first or a Gold Sword bracket match here. Master Sword Silverless. That's... yeah, Phase 4, anything can happen.
Heck, Phase 2, anything can happen. That's just as scary, if not more so, than Phase 4.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't have Burna or Cape, so... I think Kaesden's lead here, though, is more than just a Phase 2.
Kaesden getting a couple of doubles here. That's nice. So we see, Kaesden, Aga down at 142.55. So keep an eye on Windfox as he separates himself from that guard. And there's still a couple more there that you have to worry about.
Windfox jousting across the bridge. And Kaesden Oh man, the nerves right now.
I mean, we are where we are because both these runners took different routes. Windfox did the basement of Thieves Town early. Oh, and falling in Torch Room and getting... Oh, actually dodged that fireball. Very well done. But Windfox doing the basement of Pod or Thieves Town early to find a flute. Kaesden doing it a little bit later. Unfortunately, Windfox does have to reset this room, which never feels good. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the routing divergence, they kind of did the same things, but in slightly different orders. No other huge items were found. They found Fire Rod really close to one another. The biggest things from this seed is Kaesden dying to Cold Stare and Windfox dying to Trinex.
Yeah, and Kaesden now dealing with Ganon. I'm sure Qirn has his YouTube pulled up, and it's given Kaesden all the rundown of every single RNG here. Still in phase 1. Gonna get to that corner. Are we in phase 2 yet?
This is nice to be in phase 2.
We are in. We got 2 hits. We're gonna get probably around 10 hits here. We don't have a cape. Probably not gonna be able to get through it all.
Yeah, you just tank here. Oh,
okay,
nice hook shot.
I think we got 8 hits in there. Ganon
use a potion. Use a potion.
Spot.
There's a very nice spot for Ganon that first pause. There's going to be 2 hits here, so I think that's a 10. We're going to need 2 more.
And we are through phase 2.
Kaesden probably going 1 more in for safety, but on Master Sword Silverless, that is probably the scariest phase, I would say, for the Ganon fight.
Okay, and this is where it can start to get a little hairy as well when it comes to these fire bat circles.
Yeah, you got to wait for Ganon to stand up.
Windfox taking a dive.
Windfox going for spins with the Master Sword instead of hammer hits.
Alrighty, that's 3 down. Switching a lamp. Then we got to count to 24. I'm sure everyone's good at counting here.
Yeah,
this is
Kaesden.
Long few minutes. Light World.
Torch
Torch
glitch
glitch
really
required.
Narrow it down for us, does it?
Windfox having some fun with mini helmets right now, stunning all 5 of them.
And that's 2.
Switching
Kaesden gonna go for
here.
triples. Yep, Kaesden knows how to do triples, so gonna go for him.
Missing that one.
Oh man, my heart is pumping. That's 4. This is not over. We have seen Ganon falls. Kaesden hoping to not have one here. If Kaesden is able to beat Ganon, this is for it all. This is best of 1. Whoever wins this match gets to continue. Whoever loses is out of the tournament. So, heart's pumping, adrenaline's rushing. Tough fight. Very tough fight, as Kaesden seems to very calmly, very smoothly be going through. Gets a little close to the bat there, but I think playing it safe here, just saying, I'm just going to try to get 2 at a time. Might try for a triple. Oh, that's
Blue
a little
Ganon.
early.
We got a blue Ganon there. Yeah, perhaps this is scripted as well. We won't know until Ganon's down. Looks like we're about halfway through here.
Kaesden scare me a little bit with those spins right next to the wall, or right next to the pit.
And Windfox! Where are you?
Windfox wants potions.
He needs potions. He's at 2 hearts, no potions. He's got to bounce. Oh, that was close. That was very close to those fire bats.
Yeah, Kaesden literally playing with fire here. Oh my goodness.
Kaesden, please.
Oh.
A few more to go. Lost count somewhere. Don't really know what we're at. So 20. 20. 25.
20 and a half.
23.8. Windfox
Who
heading
knows
towards the
anymore?
Ganon fight.
Who knows anymore? Kaesden, how many more do you have? It's got to be only 1 or 2 more. He's hit him a lot of times.
And there
that's
it is.
it. Don't fall off the edge. And ladies and gentlemen, and all of you in the chat, as long as there's no bridge fall, your winner... of this Gold Sword bracket match. Get your GGs ready. Don't post them yet. Kaesden. Oh my gosh. With an official race time, yeah,
1:48:23.
Oh, GG's. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to go have a heart replacement. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna grab Kaesden and Qirn and see if they're willing to jump in for an interview, but oh my goodness. All in all, that was a hard fought match. As we are joined by Kaesden and Qirn. GG's.
Oh, thank you.
GG.
So, how did you feel like it was going?
You know, I wasn't sure. I felt like we God visioned a couple things, and I felt like I made some mistakes. And the death on Cold Stare, my first thought was, oh no, this is a repeat of last week, except this time I'm the one who died on Cold Stare.
Yeah, that death on Cold Stare had you quite a bit behind. You were actually about some of a Turtle Rock and a mountain climb behind, and then Windfox took a death on Trinex without taking the safety door.
Or the big
really?
chest, or the big chest door. It was a front of TR. Back. Windfox actually got both heads down and was going into the second phase, but you know, as the boss is exploding, obviously you cannot menu, and was a little too close to the head out of the gate. And you know, a theme of this run, unfortunate, was both of you guys dying with safeties on hand.
Yeah, so my death on Cold Stare, I was mashing start to get it. I just didn't get it fast enough. And after I died, I was talking with Qirn, and we just decided, you know what, we'll just bail. We'll come back when I'm better equipped to fight it, because at this point it doesn't make much difference, so I might as well improve the fight. There's no items to get, so it wasn't the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, chat wanting to know right off the bat, what did you and Windfox decide about your GT routing?
We had a bit of a gentleman's agreement that we were going to go to tile room first.
Was that the only part?
Just corner. That'll be good spotted.
It was going to be tile room first into left side.
Okay, because yeah, you both had a small key and neither of you went right. That was a little confusing. I mean,
yeah, no, that we just decided we were going to do that just because we figured chat would enjoy it, and we kind of didn't want this match to come down to someone picking the right path in GT and someone not. We wanted it to be more of an execution battle, so we wanted to remove that variable.
Heard it here first. You heard it here first, chat. The race was scripted. End of it came down to both the runners getting the bug net, not using it.
That bug net had value, though. Just, you know, I got to go sell it on eBay.
Exactly. It's the only safety you have. Got to hold on to it. Ended up finding that blue mail to finish that out.
So early on, when you found that mirror in Thieves Town, was that death an intentional death? We were kind of debating about it. It looks like you got sniped there and that you weren't planning on taking that death there.
I wasn't. Initially I wasn't. Qirn kind of talked me into it because I took the damage. He's like, you know what? You're already down to 2 hearts. Just go take the death and let's get out of here. Which felt kind of crazy, but you know, I trust Qirn. His judgment is always very solid. So
also with that blind fight, kind of you know, using your Book of Medora there and wasting, you know, 20 seconds or something on that blind fight. What was happening?
I did that 100% just for chat to enjoy.
Oh my goodness.
Just press select when you go in there and it goes crazy and looks like it's on acid.
Windfox now making his way through Phase 4. Had a slight lead on you, obviously with the TR deficit, ended up being about a couple minutes behind in the climb. Out of potions, went after Agatu to get those. You were at about, I would say, Moldorm 2 as they were at Landmo 2, so pretty close.
That's real close.
Windfox gonna finish the seed with 72 rupees, should this fight finish. This was a weird one. I mean, that sword on
It was.
Hylia Island, like, you don't want to grab it early because it's kind of like in a weird spot, but the seed didn't give you anything to work with. I mean,
Yeah. I'm curious where the other swords were. I'm guessing Meyer is
you both finished with Master
possibly
Sword.
Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, you both didn't check either of those.
Well, there's a ton of chests unchecked in GT Basement as well, so it could very well be there. But
Yeah, that's true.
Silver Arrows being in Light World somewhere, I'm curious about as well.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of Light World locations left. I mean, when you found the Fire Rod, Shareen and I were chatting about this. A bit of a split option there. When Windfox found the Fire Rod, immediately mirrored out and went to go do Skull Woods and finish that up before climbing back up to Turtle Rock. Did that ever cross your mind, or was there a discussion about jumping into Turtle Rock, or
we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit, but either way, we got to climb the mountain again. So bailing immediately wouldn't really save a whole lot. I'm decently comfortable with Hammer or Master Sword Trineck. It's not too big of a deal, so I was comfortable to just go in.
Yeah, and we were talking about how clutch it was that with your dying grasp, you were able to get that small key right before Lava Bridge. So,
Windfox finished Ganon. Just want to say that we finishing up this race, losing by about 6 minutes. Master Sword Silverlet's long fight. GG to Windfox with a 154.32.
Yeah, go ahead and get your GGs in chat. We'll try to get Windfox and Gamma. And there they are. GGs to both of you.
Hey there, GG. GG to you, Kaesden, Qirn.
GG Kaesden, GG Qirn, great job.
GG Windfox.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
GG Gamma.
Doctor?
Doctor?
Yeah, Windfox, we were talking to Kaesden and Qirn here. Unfortunately, and Shareen said it exactly, this was kind of the seed of you guys not using your potions quite in time. You had a lead late, and that Trinex death put you behind. Kaesden had a lead early, and a Cold Stare death put him pretty far behind you. Just kind of passing back and forth off of those deaths, unfortunately, at that low percent green mail boss fight.
Yeah, I couldn't tell throughout the race if I was ahead or behind. I felt with the 4 deaths that I had, it felt weird. Just everything felt weird.
Yeah, I was telling him this seed is not really kind at all in terms of equipments. There was no mail upgrade. We were on Fighter Sword for so long. We had half magic, but we had no safety to use them. With no cape, no burna. So it was like,
no cape, no
tough.
burna, no Fire Rod for most of the seed.
Yes.
Like half magic didn't really do much for us. I don't know when you found the Fire Rod, but didn't do a whole lot for me.
You both found it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
They didn't go up the mountain early on before like Ice Palace?
No, so both of you ran up the mountain about the same time. Windfox opting to mirror and go do Skull Woods. Kaesden dove straight into Turtle Rock and beat that, then left and did Skull Woods into Ice Palace and climbed back up. But the Fire Rod, there was less than a minute, I feel like, or pretty close to that between when you guys grabbed it.
You both kind of traded early game. Windfox went to Outcasts, got the Flute in the Mirror. You traded places when you guys did the mountain. Both went to Swamp at around the same time. Kaesden, you got to skip Argus with your chest counts. Windfox ended up skipping left side. Both kind of traded places in terms of pot and ice and kind of cleaning up desert. And then both of you skipped Pyramid Fairy. And then Windfox kindly rescuing the old man before hitting go mode just to finish that off. And then, yeah, it was just a matter of Windfox leaving to finish Skullwoods, and then Windfox was up Skullwoods and Ice, and kind of behind a TR clear. I would say that, yeah, it was traded with a lot of deaths, and to be honest, the seed was just very, very low percent. I mean, this is a tough call. Every decision is like, not only is it difficult, but it's also slow. I mean, Colt's there with
no
with
boots the
fighter
whole
spins,
time was
no boots.
just
Yeah, heading into GT, there was a moment where, like, you know, just before Kaesden started the gauntlet, we were checking in, and I was like, you know, you got to skip a lot, but that's not. We're like, yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing. When we're missing, like, it could be a tempered sword, a silver arrows, boots, like anything, any one of those items. That's like 4 would be amazing before finishing up this gauntlet. That could actually lose you time, even though you skip so many locations. So, yeah.
It's crazy how in this seed, a tempered sword, like just sitting in a one-off check, could have genuinely saved you 10 minutes.
Yeah, easily.
oh yeah, definitely.
It's not often you see that, but
Yeah, it's really tough. That's what I was telling Windfox too. This seed kind of feels like a, you know, it's kind of a low percent play. You know,
It's a
everywhere you're
trap.
gonna go. Yeah,
it's a trap. No matter what you do, you feel like you're doing it slowly, but at the end of the day, if there's not a weapon out there, you don't have a choice.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
if there's a tempered sword in Misery Mire, is that worth a dive? Probably not. Maybe. It's hard to say.
Yeah, when we hit go mode with the fire rod, we were just like, if we find it on the path, so be it. If not, Master Sword it is.
Yeah.
Did you
At
ever
that
dip
point-
Eastern?
No. I
no.
don't think
Did
we
you
ever
dip
did.
it?
No,
No,
I didn't
we
do it
didn't.
at all.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if it was
You
it
both
had
kind of got
silvers
away.
in there.
You both kind of got away with the same plays. I think Windfox, you never did Dark Cross,
Nope.
but I think other than that, you guys did almost all the same stuff. I think, no, Kaesden, you ended up doing the Smith and Hammer Pegs on your
Right.
way from Swamp, because you still had to finish Thieves.
Oh, he went to Swamp right after Thieves. He did the first 4.
So there was a death in Thieves, and the flute was just left behind in the big chest. So yeah, after
Oh,
Swamp,
okay.
they went up because they didn't finish
Right.
the Stumpy route over there.
Right.
It was like a Hype Cave Pyramid Catfish play. You know, a lot of divergence, but a lot of crossing paths later on. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of opportunity to make choices. It's just it felt like none of the choices paid off too much, except for Swamp with the mitts. And Ether, I think, was required for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and Ether
it
in the
was-
first chest.
It's like I felt like that was the biggest gamble we made, was going in there right after. It's like we're like, hey, we just abandoned a crystal dungeon to go to a pendant swamp. Let's go. I saw the mitts and was like, well, at least it's paying off and we got something. And you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, the routing, very different paths you guys took, but you checked just about everything. And again, there was not much of a time difference between you guys and GT. It was very close there at the end. So, congratulations to Kaesden for moving on. Windfox, I think this is one of those that a lot of us has said. We wish that you and Kaesden weren't playing against each other, because we were rooting kind of for both you guys in this tournament.
Yeah, we played last week and we're like, okay, it's fine. We're probably going to both be in the main bracket. We'll suck it up and deal with it. And if things play out our way, we'll hopefully meet maybe second round and maybe semis. First round would be worst case, and it happened. But we just kind of sucked it up and dealt with it. And Kaesden got the win again. Congratulations again, Kaesden, on that. Good luck next round. You're going to kill it.
yeah, GG. It was a good seed. It was a very weird, hard, tough battle seed. I think it's kind of what we both wanted out of it. So
Yeah, we didn't want the same thing we got last week. We wanted something that really tested us. I don't think we were kind of thinking low percent what like this was, but it definitely tested both of us and our skills, probably to the furthest they could get.
Yeah, I was telling him too. I was really proud of him when he finished off Cold Stare. Fighter Sword, Cold Stare, it's not easy. Definitely not easy. And he pulled through, so that was really nice to see.
So do you want to know a fun stat, Windfox?
Yeah, what's that?
Well, I mean, you know it already. I'm playing this up for chat. But a collection rate of 132 with a time of 153 really shows how low percent this was. Because, like Shareen was saying, everything just moves so much slower when you have to do it slow like that. So, you know, it's one of those things that big GGs to be able to get through that seed. And like you guys were talking about, the Fighter Sword Cold Stare and the Master Sword Trinex, you know, especially on green mail, those are not easy fights to do because, you know, you get poked a couple times and, oh, I have 14 hearts and now I have 2. So, very well done to get through those.
And don't even brush aside that Cane of Samaria / Hammer Thieves Town that was, you know, early on. You know, that was also a tough call as well. Thieves Town can be very scary when there's mysterious creatures under the bridge and you go into the back with 2-3 hearts. Yeah, every dungeon was a tough call. As to like, do I redip? Do I really commit here? You know, how much time am I really losing? Am I behind? You know, those kind of calls, and kind of keeping your composure is. You guys both did excellent in this this seed.
I'll ask just around for Kaesden or Windfox or Gamma, any of the mentors, if anybody has any last minute thoughts they'd like to say on the seed about anything up and coming before we close this thing down.
Just want to say GG's again to you, Kaesden, Windfox, for finishing out the seed. I know it's pretty rough. Thank you guys, Shareen, SEJay, and Restreamers, Trackers, for putting this on. It's really cool of you guys. And yeah, GG's again. Good luck next week. This was definitely fun.
Yeah, obviously I'm out of the tournament now, which I am fine with. My goal was to hit main bracket, the gold bracket. I did that. I'm happy. Just want to thank, obviously, the hosts, Go Mode Podcast, all of our admins, all the restreamers, comms, trackers, all the mentors that have devoted their time to help out all the newer players, and the rest of the racers. Good luck in all your matches this week and further on. GG again, Kaesden. I'll be rooting for you next week.
Yeah, thanks, GG. Same thought for me. Thanks to everybody. I just also realized I've been mentored by, I think, everybody in this voice chat right now. So thanks to all of you for all the weeks you've given, all your time. Thanks to all the restreamers for putting on these shows for us. It's been a lot of fun. And thanks to trackers and everyone else behind the scenes, all the admins and everything.
All right, well, thank you guys very much. That was a crazy one. You know, for Jere, for restreaming, thank you. For Laoria, for tracking, thank you. Shareen talking alongside me, thank you very much. And have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Go check out the Discord. It's in the chat right now. You can find the schedule for all the upcoming matches that'll be restreamed. You can find multi-streams for all of the matches that aren't going to be restreamed. Yeah, you can see it all. So go check out the Discord. Come say hi to us. We're all just a bunch of volunteers here. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.